And they start making their way onto their sighting lap, followed by their formation lap. Here is the grid as follows. Oh, we've had a breakdown. Before I say that, we've had a breakdown, and that looks to be one of the Gerhards brothers, I believe. So Kai Gielerts, and there is a big gap. That is Tim Gerhards that has just broken down before we've even got onto the sighting lap. So the revised order, there will be 24 drivers taking part in that drama for the driver that took 2 wins yesterday. Christian de Klein will start on pole position. Alongside will be Belgium's Kai Gielerts. There is a gap where Tim Gerhards would be in P4. That gives an opportunity to the likes of Luke Nielsen and Tom Braken. Now, Tom Braken was a Micromax champion for the BNL karting series in 2018, and now he came back home, let's say, but he's also doing a lot of other work. He's representing Belgium in international karting as they're trying to frantically work on the 205. Milan Ritter and Lucas Schoenmakers, that's row 4. Bruno Molders and Magnus Pedersen, that's the top 10 completed. Miguel Pedersen and Sam Bergstein rounds out the top 6 rows ahead of Max Knappen, Eliska Babikova, Nick Gerhards, Rafael Renhofer, Matthias Turlo, Colin van Lammeren, Luc Visser, Tuin Schmidt, Joop Breedveld, also Jochi Schoens, Ralph van der Pevert, Petra Babikova and Gilles Clouet. But the drama now is that the winning streak is very much uncertain for one Mr. Tim Gerhards. A technical drama coming out of the pre-grid. Oh, that is not what you want to see. So we've had drama in Minimax, we've had great racing in Micro, and now we have a drama that befell one of the top drivers in Junior Rotax this very afternoon. But hopefully they can get things going at SP Motorsport. I know that I did see the kart being worked on. So I'm not going to go through the top 10 because it feels a bit incomplete saying that without Tim Gerhards. But, however, the front row is comprised of Christian de Klein from the Netherlands and Kai Gielerts in the 274 from Belgium. 13 minutes once again stuck on the timer. Red lights on the starting gantry. This is where the action gets cranked up to the volume of 11 in the words of Spinal Tap. Into the tram lines we go. The revs rise, the lights are out, we are off and racing, and it's nearly 4 abreast. Oh, there's been a massive tangle. Oh, multiple karts, I count at least 7, as Tim Gerhards comes flying out of the pre-grid to the 205 back, and he will get an absolute get-out-of-jail-free card on that one. And we've got the 277 involved. That's Bruno Molders in the walls again. That's a real shame from the youngster. He's won the BNL Rotax Golden Trophy back in 2018, but it's not been going well this weekend. But in the lead of the race at the moment, that looks to be Kai Gielerts in the 274 from Belgium. The youngster who managed to get through all the way through the field to win the BNL Kickoff Reboot 2.0. Now he's got an opportunity to get himself into a fighting chance to win this weekend. They swarm their way through turns 10, 11, now into the right at 12 as Eliska Babikova is battling away with Milan Ritter down towards the bottom part of the top 10. They cross the line to start complete lap number 1. Gielerts has a lead of nearly half a second over Christian de Klein. And there's more action-packed battles. There's more moves going through turn 2. So at the moment, the running order is thus. Gielerts, de Klein, Schoenmakers, Magnus Pedersen, Thomas Martins, Tom Braken. Eliska Babikova jumps up into 7th position. Bruno Molders and Rafael Renhofer, I think, were the 2 that were involved there. And in terms of the positioning of those 2 karts, Bruno Molders started in 9th and Renhofer was in 16th position. As now they've dropped to 24th and 25th, and at the moment Tim Gerhards is ahead of twin brother Nick. And now this is, now I've just seen Bruno Molders come through turn 4. The rest of the field now starting to move their way towards turn 12 as there's more pushing and shoving. The 248 of Max Knappen trying to go up the inside of Sam Bergstein. I think he's not. Has he made the move? No, I don't think he has, but they crossed the line. Let's have a look on the timing screens. Oh, and a great slingshot up the inside of Christian de Klein. That's Lucas Schoenmakers. So it is now a JJ Racing 1-2. So Schoenmakers has been in the thick of things. So Raphael Henhofer is the first confirmed retirement. We had 8 karts involved. Other drivers looks to be the likes of... I'm just having a look at the moment in terms of the qualifying side of things. Luke Neeson all the way down. Luke Neeson is currently in... Let's have a look here. 21st position. Mikkel Pedersen all the way down in 22nd. But now, this is where things really heat up because you've got 2 hard chargers, a Belgian and a Dutchman, followed by another Dutchman at the top 3. And the top 2 are teammates at JJ Racing. The biggest rule of racing, never take out your teammates. But Gielets has a lead of nearly 5.5 tenths of a second as a move up the inside for on Magnus Pedersen by Tom Braken is unsuccessful through turn 2. Braken doing 3 to 4 multiple campaigns this year, but the BNL karting series, which is definitely a place where he's cut his teeth in the world of karting, now coming in to us as a junior Rotax driver and showing good pedigree and patience and pace at the same time. That's a lot of alliteration for a early Sunday afternoon. 9 minutes and 34 on the clock still to go. Sean Macker is still in second, trying to hunt down Kai Gielets as now Tom Braken sizes up Magnus Pedersen for a move as Eliska Babikova, who took third in the pre-final yesterday afternoon before she and also Tom Braken came to blows through on lap 7 of the final through turn 3 yesterday afternoon as Braken has got past Pedersen for P4. Now the work can start to begin. I'm keeping my eye on where Tim Gerhards is at the moment. He is still currently in P18. So at the moment, Kai Gielets really hoping for an opportunity to bring a bit of light to the end of the tunnel. As now, that's a great move. That's Eliska Babikova up the inside of the 261 of Magnus Pedersen. And along comes Milan Ritter for the ride. And they both get past the 261 by turn 7. Babikova again doing a great run there. And Petra Babikova is up into P13, having languished at the bottom part of the top 20 for the past 2 races. So 8 minutes and a half to go. Gielets still continues to lead, but Sean Mackers is pushing. Milan Ritter is the first driver I see within the top 10 that has gone sub 55 seconds, and in the meantime has also set the fastest lap of the race. But that now goes to Lukas Schoenmakers, who's dropped the gap down to Kai Gielets to about 3.7 tenths of a second, as Babikova is now having to fend off Milan Ritter and also Magnus Pedersen. But coming with them is Luke Visser, Thomas Martins, and Joip Breedfield. So a lot of names to keep an eye on in this race. But Gielets still keeping it nice, calm and composed. He hasn't got the Herculean mountain to climb that he had last time out at the Kickoff 2.0 reboot. So Tim Gerhards, I think, has dropped all the way down to 24th. Maybe the technical gremlins have resurfaced for the 205 from the Netherlands, last year's BNL Karting Series Minimax champion. So we are fast approaching just over 7 minutes and 20 seconds still to go. And there is an absolute train of karts, and that is being led by Eliska Babikova, who's currently running in P5 ahead of Ritter, Pedersen, as Magnus Pedersen, Luke Visser, Thomas Martins. And that's a 4-kart train, and there's a 3-kart one behind, which has got Joip Breedfield, Max Knappen, and it's 3 abreast coming out of turn 6. Oh my goodness me, and the 2 RS competition karts have managed to get through. Oh, there's a little bit of a tussle between Milan Ritter and Eliska Babikova. This is bringing everyone into the party. Luke Visser leading that train now. Thomas Martins just behind. And then you've also got Breedfield and Knappen. This is getting very, very hot and heated. And that's not just the weather, it's the action out on the track. So we are now at half-time on the clock. 6.5 minutes plus an additional lap. Kai Gielets continues to lead. Tim Gerhards has unfortunately parked it and is a confirmed retirement. 2 karts down, 23 still running. And this is where things are getting very, very interesting indeed, because now Tom Braken has been closing on Christian de Klein. The gap between them last time around was just under 3 tenths of a second, but now Tom Braken was over 2 tenths of a second quicker than Christian de Klein. Gielets still leading the way. The top 4 cannot be separated as there are multiple battles up and down the order. Eliska Babikova has got to try and close up with Magnus Pedersen in 6th, Milan Ritter in 5th place. Tom Braken now sets the fastest lap of this pre-final for junior road sacks on day 2. But the top 4 now covered by 1.2 seconds as Christian de Klein senses that Tom Braken is getting close and closer as time proceeds. 5.25 minutes left on the clock plus an additional lap. Braken has got the pace. He was ever so fractionally slower than Christian de Klein by 7/1000ths on that last lap. But also with the cars in front punching a hole through the dirty air, you also get that added unwanted bonus of instability. The back end feels a bit sketchy. It can sometimes feel like it wants to understeer or oversteer. So the driver's got to counterbalance that with their driving skill as the leaders now come through turn 12. 4 minutes and 40 still to go. 2 retirements, Tim Gerhard in the 2:05 and Rafael Renhofer in the 2:31, representing the Netherlands and Germany respectively, as both Milan Ritter and Magnus Pedersen get their heads down. Oh, now that was very close indeed between Christian de Klein and Tom Braken, battling away tooth and nail for P3. Up into turn 6, Braken strikes up the inside of de Klein. Nicely done there by the 218 from Belgium. Now he's going to head into turn number 7 as the 2 Oris competition carts of Milan Ritter and Magnus Pedersen still complete the top 6 at the moment. The top 2 getting ever so closer still, but it's been literally 0.5 of a second between Kai Gielatz and Lucas Schoenmakers at the front of the field. They'll now come through to complete 10 laps, so that puts us into double-digit figures on lap count. 3 minutes and 41, plus an additional lap still to go. Gielatz senses that Schoenmakers is closing. Gap now to just over 2.5 of a second. Schoenmakers getting a bit more late on the brakes through into turn 2. Braken trying to get away from de Klein but can't do so at the minute. However, Schoenmakers did a 55.495 ahead of Kai Gielatz's 55.582. So Luc Visser seems to have a good scrap going on with Thomas Martins and Max Knappen for 8th to 10th place respectively. And just up ahead, looks like they've got Eliska Babikova battling away. And will be ahead of Thomas Martins in the brightly coloured kart there. Less than 3 minutes on the clock. Everyone's still battling away for position. Running order at the moment is Rieders, Schoenmakers, Braken, de Klein, Magnus Pedersen, Milan Ritter, Eliska Babikova, Thomas Martins, Luc Visser, Max Knappen, Breedveld, Van de Pavert, Turlo, Bergstein, Schoens, Petra Babikova, Van Lammeren, Nick Gerhards, Nielsen, Mikkel Pedersen, Turnschmidt, Gilles Chloé, Bruno Molders being the last of the 23 drivers still circulating. And we've had a penalty issued. That is for the 263 of Colin Van Lammeren. 3-second penalty added to the race time distance for 2 wheels out of the tram lines on the start. An automatically handed penalty. If you're all 4 wheels out, it's 5 seconds added to your time. Race time in total. So this time around, we will have this, and I possibly think, if they're running 55s at the moment, the top 2, they're running 55.5s and 55.4s respectively. So Rielitz crosses the line. 1 minute 48 on the clock still to go, so that will probably give him a couple of laps before the timer expires. And then that will put us onto the final lap. And at the minute, no changes at the moment until you hit the lower part of the top 10 with Luc Visser losing out to Joy Breedveld, also from the Netherlands. And then Max Knappen still in 9th position as there looks to be a little bit of a skirmish going on a bit further down the order towards the bottom part of the top 15. As Nick Gerhards gets past Petra Babikova for position. Luc Nielsen gets past Colin Van Lammeren, also for position. Right, so let's just keep an eye on these this time around. So 52 seconds when they cross the line, the 2 leaders. So at the moment, Kai Gielatz and Lucas Schoenmakers, separated by just over 0.3 of a second, now go on to the penultimate lap of this race. Tom Braken, a further 9.67 of a second. This is a bit of a clash down the tail end of the order, and I think one of them might have been a bit of a bumping through by Nick Gerhards on Yuri Schoens for P15 through the exit of turn number 3. Leaders now coming through turn 9. Gielitz has been hanging on, and it looks like Schoenmaker is not having the same pace as his JJ Racing teammate there in order to mount an offensive. As Eliska Babikova still ahead of Thomas Martins. Max Klappen now in 9th place. No other positional changes at the moment. Final lap board for Kai Gielitz from Belgium in the 274. Into turns 1. Now into the right at 2. Then it's the triple left at 3. Up into 4. As we see the 2 RS competition carts going. Oh, that's a great move up the inside of Thomas Martins by Max Klappen, who makes the move through turn 2 and makes it stick by turn 3. Leaders on the back straight now for the final time in this pre-final for Junior Rotax. They're now coming through as the 2 RS competition carts are going at it, hammer and tongs through turn 8. Oh my goodness me, Milan Ritter trying to get past Magnus Pedersen for what will be the last position in the top 5. So the leaders now coming through turn 11 as Pedersen goes defensive on Ritter round the final corner from JJ Racing. It's Kai Gielitz in the 274 from Belgium that wins the pre-final, and it's all kicking off a little bit further down the order as we've had the 232, the 263 and the 252. That's Petra Babikova, Van Lammeren, and looks like Mikkel Pedersen. Lucas Schoenmakers takes 2nd position ahead of Tom Braken. Christian de Klein, 4th place ahead of Magnus Pedersen. Milan Ritter loses out to Eliska Babikova on the last lap. So Babikova takes 6th, so that's a 3rd, a DNF, and a 6th place for the Czech driver so far this weekend. Max Klappen pips Thomas Martins to 8th position. Joop Breedfield takes 10th place ahead of the Netherlands' very own Luc Visser. Ralph van der Pevert in 12th. Matthias Turlo and Sam Bergstein and Nick Gerhards rounding out the top 15 positions. Then in 16th, it's Luke Neeson, Yuri Schoens, Petra Babikova, Colin Van Lammeren, Mikkel Pedersen, Tern Schmidt, Gilles Clouet, and Bruno Mulders being the last of the 23 drivers that finished the race, with Tim Gerhards retiring on lap 5, suffering technical dramas, going off of the pre-grid onto the sighting lap, and Raphael Renhofer, unfortunately, having his race ending on lap 1 earlier on.